We can multiply and divide different units. That's how we do unit conversions, but we can only ever add and subtract numbers that have the exact same units. Otherwise, it will not make any sense. So here we have 1 minute and 20 seconds. We can write this only in seconds. If we first convert 1 minute into seconds, there are 60 seconds in a minute. So this is the same thing as 60 seconds. And then we have 20 more. So in other words, 60 seconds plus 20 seconds equals 80 seconds. So 1 minute, 20 seconds is like 1 minute plus 20 seconds, but you can't combine 1 and 20 together. You have to first convert the minutes into seconds, and then you can do 60 plus 20 is 80. Okay, similarly, we have 5 pounds, 6 ounces in ounces. There are 16 ounces to a pound. So we're going to do 5 pounds times 1 pound is 16 ounces. And so we get 5 times 16, it's going to be 50 and 30, so 80 ounces. And so we have 5 pounds, 6 ounces. It's going to be the same thing as 80 ounces, 5 pounds, plus 6 ounces to give us 86 ounces. All right, 26 inches in feet and inches. So we want to separate the inches into actually what's kind of more understandable for a problem. Typically, you always work with larger units, and then you keep breaking it down into smaller and smaller ones. So it's more natural to think of 26 inches as how many feet and how many inches is that. So to do that, we have to just know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. And then we can think of 26 inches. 26 is the same thing as 12 inches plus 12 inches. And that's going to be 24 inches. So it's going to be 2 more. Is 12 plus 12 plus 2 is 26. And 12 inches is a foot. So this is the same thing as 1 foot plus 1 foot plus 2 inches, or 2 feet, 2 inches. That's the same thing as 26 inches. 30 months, very similarly, we can think about this one, right? We have 1 year equals 12 months. 30 is the same thing as 12 months plus 12 months. That's going to be 24 months total. That's going to give us 6 remaining, right? 24 plus 6 is 30, so this is a year, and this is 6 months. It's going to be 2 years, 6 months. Or you could think of this too as in just years, right? 6 months is half of a year. There's 12 months in a year. 6 is half of that. This is the same thing as 2.5 years. That's not what the problem asks for, right? The problem asks for years and months, but that's just a conversion between months and years. All right, we're going to add 2 pounds, 10 ounces to 4 pounds, 8 ounces, and leave it in pounds and ounces. So we're going to have, we can combine the units that do add up, that are the same units. So we're going to have 2 pounds plus 4 pounds is 6 pounds. And we have 10 ounces plus 8 ounces equals 18 ounces. Now, because the answer wants it in pounds and ounces, the answer would not be 6 pounds, 18 ounces. That's because there are 16 ounces to a pound, and there's definitely 16 in this, right? 18 is 16 ounces plus 2 ounces. But this is just another pound. So we have 1 pound, 2 ounces. This is the same thing as 1 pound, 2 ounces. So we have 6 pounds, 1 pound, 2 ounces. That's going to be 7 pounds, 2 ounces in total. And that would be the answer you're looking for. Okay, how much greater is 3 gallons than 2 gallons and 1 quart? Well, what we want to do is we want to separate this thing into different parts, right? We have 3 gallons, the same thing as 2 gallons and 1 gallon. 2 plus 1 is 3, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is because 2 gallons and 2 gallons, those are comparable, right? Those are directly the same number. But now we have gallons and quarts. Let's change this gallons to quarts, and then we can compare these two things directly. Well, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. That's the conversion there. So 3 gallons is the same thing as 2 gallons, and this is just the same thing as 4 quarts. So 3 gallons is the same thing as 2 gallons, 4 quarts. And if we're asking how much greater is 3 gallons than that, all we have to do is subtract 2 gallons and 1 quart. So 2 gallons, 4 quarts minus 2 gallons, 1 quart, that's going to give us 3 quarts. All right, suppose you wanted to fly from Phoenix, Arizona to Asheville, North Carolina with a layover in Atlanta, Georgia. From Phoenix to Atlanta is 3 hours and 35 minutes, okay? And then from Atlanta to Asheville is 45 more minutes. What is the total flight time in hours and minutes? So, of course, we're going to just do 3 hours, 35 minutes, plus 45 minutes. The only parts that we can combine is the minutes. So we're going to get 3 hours and 35 plus 45 is going to be 80 minutes. But of course we know 80 minutes is over an hour. 80 minutes is the same thing as, right? You can do the unit conversion if you want, or you can just do, right? 80 is the same thing as 60 plus 20. 60 minutes plus 20 minutes, and 60 minutes is an hour. So it's going to be 1 hour, 20 minutes. So this is 1 hour, 20 minutes, and we have 3 more hours. So in total, it's going to be 4 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, you need to mix 3 liquids for a drink. We have 1 gallon, 2 quarts is the first capacity for the liquid. Then you have a 3 gallon one and then a 6 quart one. How many gallons and quarts are in the final mix? So we're going to have 1 gallon, 2 quarts, plus 3 gallons, plus 6 quarts. Okay, so in total we can add the parts that we actually can add. So the gallons, 1 gallon and 3 gallons is 4 gallons. 2 quarts and 6 quarts is 8 quarts. But there are 4 quarts to a gallon. And so this is the same thing as 4 quarts and 4 quarts, which is a gallon and a gallon. So we have 4 gallons, and then this is the same thing as 2 more gallons. So in total, we have 6 gallons of the final drink mix. Now, if we have a number like this where we have a decimal, 6.45 hours working on paper, how much time is this in hours and minutes? Well, we already know how many hours this is. It's 6 hours. That's the whole part. The 0.45, however, is the portion of an hour. That's the same thing as going to be the minutes. So the way we can do this is we can note that that we have 2 parts, 6 hours and 0.45 hours. Okay, this is perfectly fine the way we want. We want hours and minutes. So now I'm going to take 0.45 hours and convert that into minutes. 0.45 hours times by, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Hours cancel. And we can now multiply those two quantities together. So 0.45 times 60 is going to give us 27 minutes. 27 minutes over 1, or just 27 minutes. So in total, we have 6 hours and 27 minutes. Okay, finally, we have Maria's pool holds 2,962.27 gallons of water when filled to the recommended height. She needs another 57.63 gallons to get it there. So how many gallons are in the pool currently? Well, that's easy to do. We're just going to subtract those two numbers. 2962.27 minus 57.63. Those are both gallons, so we can subtract them directly. And doing that on a calculator, I'm getting 2,904.64 gallons. That's how many gallons of water is currently in her pool. Now it's asking how many quarts need to be added. Well, we already know that she needs to get this many gallons in there. So all we really need to do is just convert this from gallons to quarts. So 57.63 gallons. There are 4 quarts to 1 gallon. Gallons cancel. And now we can just multiply straight across. 57.63 times 4 is 230.52. Quarts is the only unit left. And so we're going to get just 230.52 quarts of water needs to be added.